Welcome to the Transportation Sales Tax Program, also known as RoadWise. We're out here on Bees Ferry Road and a lot's going on. This project has taken, it's been a number of months now, but it's got a little bit longer to go. I want you to know that citizens are involved and a lot of wonderful added items to this project will make it one of the most usable ones in the community. And we'll see what that means in just a little bit. When we return, we'll be right back.
Hey, Charleston County, let's recycle. Charleston County makes it easy. Recycling glass, aluminum cans, steel and aerosol cans, plastics 1 to 7. We recycle them all. And don't forget paper. If it tears, recycle it. Even cardboard. Recycle at work, at home, and at play. So whether you're using the 2 curbside bin system and separating or the all-in-one roll cart system, keep recycling. Brought to you by Charleston County Environmental Management.
Welcome back to the Transportation Sales Tax Program, also known as RoadWise. We're going to be talking about Bees Ferry Road today. This project has been underway for a while and it's got just a little ways to go. And I want you to meet one gentleman who's responsible for sort of tying it all together. He is Chris Wood, and Chris has worked on a number of projects for Charleston County under the RoadWise program and the Transportation Sales Tax Program. And You've been at this for a little while. You've been with the projects for the county for what? The whole 6 years or 8?
Yeah, since 2006.
Yeah. Is that right?
Yeah, we started off with the 2006 resurfacing projects and some of the smaller allocation projects to get the program started.
Is the Bees Ferry project, Bees Ferry Road, for everybody that knows anything about it, is it a more difficult one, or is it just what you normally expect a project of this kind to be like?
Well, the project has its challenges. You're building a 4.5-mile roadway system, which is already loaded with traffic, so you have to be very careful to the traveling public to make sure that you conduct your work and complete your work in a safe manner. So,
how will this road change from its original existence? Is there now 4 lanes, or will there still be 2 lanes? Tell us about that.
Sure, you're taking a 2-lane roadway system and creating a 4-lane roadway system that will have sidewalks the entire length. We'll have a 10-foot multi-use path the entire length. There'll be a landscape median, which also there'll be lighting, roadway and path lighting for the entire length of the project. So a very user-friendly roadway system.
Now, we don't find all of the projects doing the same thing, but where there can be beautification, it seems like we take advantage of that. Is that part of the whole design?
It is. The landscaping plan is a part of the project plans and was specifically detailed to not cause maintenance issues, but yet, I guess, bring some beautification to the project.
How many different companies, just in numbers approximately, how many different companies are involved with this project?
I believe from the construction standpoint, we're at about 16, 17 companies.
And that ranges from what, asphalt to paving to beautification? I mean, they just go on, the list goes on.
You have the prime contractor, Banks Construction, who pretty much manages the earthwork that's required, the drainage work, the asphalt paving, and then there's some specialty contractors that specify with traffic signals, lighting plans, and things of that nature.
Who ties all of this together? All of these companies that are involved and all of these employees and men and women who are working these projects, who keeps it together and keeps it going?
Right. Well, it's a multiple effort from the prime contractor. He's responsible for his work and his subcontractor's work. And as a management company, Michael Baker Corporation, we as construction managers manage those contractors and subcontractors to perform the work to the required specifications.
And that's your job primarily?
That's
now,
correct.
Is there generally one person assigned, like you're an engineer, is there generally one person assigned to a project like this as an engineer, or are there several? How's that done?
It varies. It's based on the length of road, the amount of work being performed, the number of activities that happen on a daily basis. We on this project have approximately 5 to 6 people assigned to the project based on daily work that happens that we manage for Charleston County.
I know that you're also involved in construction, engineering, and inspection. CEI is the acronym, I believe. And I'm just wondering, what is that, and do you do that only?
No, well, our job as construction manager is more from a contract management standpoint. You control the monies that are paid out to complete the work. And within that, there are inspectors and project managers that track daily production and daily operations to provide a quality product. And so we do sampling and testing of the materials, and we verify that the contractor is conducting their work properly.
You know, that's a very interesting thing. I had an opportunity to visit one of the major construction companies in this area, and I didn't realize that the materials that are being used are constantly being tested, or at least over a period of time you may have several tests. And why is that?
It's a way to manage the risk of the materials that are being incorporated into the project and almost guarantee to some degree a quality project. If you're using materials that are poor in quality, the chances are that the roadway system, the sidewalks, the drainage components aren't going to last. So it's a way to guarantee that what we are paying for as a taxpayer is what we are receiving.
Is it sometimes that you have to say, this won't work, we're going to have to send this batch back? I mean, hopefully not, but I'm sure, because you're looking out for the public and their money, the sales tax money that's being spent, and we're working for Charleston County government as well. Are there times when you have to say, no, we can't accept it?
There are times when you get failed samples for materials that are not meeting specifications. There's oftentimes rework. That's part of the risk taken on by the prime contractor or the subcontractors when they select their material providers, that they're going to get a quality material. And so yes, we do rework from time to time, and no one likes doing that because it's double effort, it's triple effort, but it has to be done sometimes.
Does it cost any more?
It lessens the profits to the contractors.
Okay.
The taxpayer doesn't end up paying for that, but the contractor's profits are probably not as high because of the rework.
Now that doesn't happen very often, as we just said, but when it does happen, are you the eyes and the ears and the know-how that determines that something is not right with whatever it is? I mean, is that part of your responsibility, and is that your background?
That is a part of my responsibility. We're part of a system. There's other engineers that have specified certain criteria to work to these standards. And so there's ways sometimes, if you have challenges with materials, to get partial approvals from them, but you are the responsible party that makes the decision of who needs to sign off on the materials remaining in place and when a material might need to be removed or work reperformed.
And overall, who answers to the payer? The person that's paying, or the government entity that's paying for this? Is it your company and you as a representative of that company?
Again, we're part of that system, yes.
Okay.
I mean, we hold a huge responsibility in the construction and inspection of the project, and we basically sign our names on the invoices that pay the contractors, and when we do that, we're saying that they've conducted their work to a degree that meets standard, and so yes, we are a part of that system.
So far, so good, though.
Yes.
Then you're going to move along. We're going to talk about how long it's going to take to complete this project, and then some of the nuances that are involved here. I think you're going to be very pleased. We talked a little bit about some of the trees and some of the other decorative kinds of things, and there are going to be all sorts of interesting pieces of work that are going to go into this project that I'm sure you're going to be pleased with. We'll talk about that with Chris in just a moment, so please don't go away.
Hey, Charleston County, let's recycle. Charleston County makes it easy. Recycling glass, aluminum cans, steel and aerosol cans, plastics 1 to 7. We recycle them all. And don't forget paper. If it tears, recycle it. Even cardboard. Recycle at work, at home, and at play. So whether you're using the 2 curbside bin system and separating, or the all-in-one roll cart system, keep recycling. Brought to you by Charleston County Environmental Management.
Welcome back to the Transportation Sales Tax Program, also known as RoadWise. We're here on Beast Ferry Road, and it's a very exciting project that's occurring out here. And we're talking with one of the lead gentlemen who's responsible for making sure that everything goes as planned. And he is part of a management company, and you've been doing this for a lot of years, haven't you, Chris?
Yeah, we've been doing this about 10 years, 11 years now. So.
What's the best part? Seeing the project finished?
Yeah, that's one of the best parts. I like the balance of the office work and then checking on things in the field and just knowing that you're actually constructing something for the community.
You know,
So,
we talked earlier about all of the different entities that are involved with asphalt companies and beautification companies and all of these people that are involved. I think you said there was like 16 or somewhere in there.
that's correct.
And but you have to sit down with them periodically, don't you?
Yes.
How often?
Well, we have bi-weekly meetings, construction progress and utility coordination meetings, where we sit down. It typically takes a half hour to an hour to go through all the goals of the project. For instance, in the next 2-week period, let's talk about what we're going to do, what we're going to accomplish, and let's work through any issues or challenges that we're faced with at that time.
You know, some folks who pass these projects or see them going on say, it looks like it's taking forever. But there is a schedule, and everybody's got to meet that schedule, do they not? And if they don't meet the schedule, then what?
Well, there's things in the contract that place liquidated damages on if you are late on your project and the completion of your project. We typically don't like to consider those or enforce those. It's much better to complete the project in a timely manner. As far as this project goes, we're pretty much on target at about 50% complete.
Good.
With the work performed, and there's about 40% more of time that we have to go to complete the duration. So I think we'll be fine on this project.
Has everything run smoothly from where you stand?
Yes, there's been challenges,
Yeah.
but for a 4.5-mile roadway project valued at approximately $32 million, there's going to be challenges to be faced with, and that's why we're here to work through them one by one and keep the contractors progressing in the work and give the community a nice roadway.
Let's talk a little bit about the features of this project. And I did sort of allude to some of them, but I'd like you to sort of go through some of the things that are going to change the look of Beast Ferry Road and also improve the ability for the public to travel and to connect to one another with the sidewalks and all those good things. Tell us
Right.
about some of the features.
Again, we're taking a 4.5-mile roadway system that is 2 lanes at this time, and we're creating and constructing a 4-lane roadway system with a divided landscape median. There will also be a sidewalk on one side of the road from beginning to end, and again a 10-foot multi-use path on the other side. There's a lighting plan which installs street lighting, which will light both the roadway and the sidewalk and path system from beginning to end of the project. So it'll make it a very, again, user-friendly pedestrian facility at all times during the day, and a very safe facility.
Is there some sort of a bridge in here as well?
That's correct. There's one 100-foot span bridge at Church Creek. There's 2 box culverts on this project. We're also building a pedestrian bridge near the Bear Swamp, which is closer to the 17 end of the project, to cater to the multi-use path.
Now that's going to be exciting for the public because there are a lot of exercisers out here and bikers. I've noticed that. And that's a great idea. Is that something that we find in most projects or just when there's the opportunity?
Well, I'm not sure as far as what I know on a bonded project of this size, it's nice to provide those facilities for the pedestrians to use. Just like the Ravenel Bridge, as we've noticed, they've constructed the bike paths and the multi-use bike path on that bridge, and it's used at all hours of the day.
All hours.
So I expect that this project will be the same. You've got quite a few neighborhoods and communities along the road system, and it should be a safe facility, so I expect it'll be used a lot.
Speaking of neighborhoods all along here, there are lots of neighborhoods, gorgeous neighborhoods, and there are a number of businesses as well. Have you had meetings with the individuals out here, and have there been public meetings where you've received input?
There has. We conduct quarterly community meetings here on the facility, on the property, and typically we get business owners and residents that normally it's those that have some concerns or interested in upcoming activities, and I think we find that they're very effective in relieving those concerns, and as a result of these efforts, we've had very few complaints on the project.
Good.
So,
well, I guess I should have gotten to this ahead of time or a little bit before now, but I'm kind of curious about what's underneath of us. And I think I've seen a couple of very deep holes, and I don't know what they're for, but tell us about what's been laid underneath that shores up this project.
Yeah. Well, some of the things that you don't see is that the earthwork, the soil that's been placed to build the embankment, and on top of that, we put down a cement stabilized aggregate base course as part of the pavement structure.
An aggregate is?
Basically stone.
Right.
So with that base course, we'll put some asphalt on top of it to create the roadway. Now, in addition to that, there's a lot of drainage work that's going on alongside the roadway to the tune of 50,000 lineal feet of closed drainage system, concrete pipe system. So we've installed, to date, we've installed about 28,000 lineal feet. So we're right on target with being about to the halfway point, or a little past the halfway point.
I'm really curious about this, but when you get to the design stage, and that takes a while, and going through all the processes that one must go through with all these government agencies and all this kind of thing, and then finally you have the bids out for the companies who are going to do the job and their experience, and you look at all of those things, and then, and only after then, do you begin to decide, well, this is who we're going to work with. They've got the experience and they can do the job. Is that very hard to do? Is it hard to find people with the kind of experience in this area, meaning the Charleston County area, that do this kind of work? Is it a pretty lively business? I
think we have a lot of qualified contractors in the area to perform highway construction type work. The county and the state put out invitations for bid so that we get competitive pricing, and upon that pricing we can regulate the quality due to the specs that were a part of that bid process. And yes, there's quite a few contractors in this area that do a good job, and we have one on Bees Ferry Road as well.
And I also know that in projects like this, there is a tremendous effort to include minority businesses. And we've seen representatives from those businesses out here doing their work as well. And so that's a part of it.
That's true. This is a